So Insta360 just released a new camera on their Go series, the Go Ultra. And it's a 4K action camera designed for vloggers and adventure enthusiasts, making it super easy to capture immersive video. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the new features and also put it to the test. We're going to drive these carts with my buddy Sven. So it's going to be interesting, and I'm going to mount it to capture some interesting shots. So let's get right into it. If you're new to the Insta360 GO cameras, they're designed to capture moments without the hassle of complex setup. Thanks to their compact size and lightweight build, you can use them in all kinds of creative ways, from vlogging to hands-free filming. With compact cameras like these, I'm much more likely to bring them on a trip than a bulky camera. They take up almost no space in your bag and are ready to shoot in seconds, which makes them perfect for spontaneous travel moments. The Go 3S and Go Ultra share many of the same core features, but they're designed with slightly different users in mind, each offering its own unique strengths. The Go Ultra is a bit heavier than the Go 3S, weighing 53 grams versus the 39 grams. Still, both cameras are very small, lightweight, and easy to carry even with the action pod. The Go Ultra has a more square shape and is slightly shallower, while the Go 3S has a thumb-like design that makes it even more compact and easier to fit into tight spaces. Both include a magnetic pendant, which allow for easy POV shots from your chest. On the Go Ultra, the magnetic pendant is upgraded with a 15-degree pitch adjustment, giving you more flexibility in your shooting angles. Both cameras have a unique magnetic surface that lets you attach them to any magnetic object, making it super fast and flexible. Insta360 offers a variety of accessories for creative mounting for both cameras. One of my favorite is the pivot stand. It uses a quick release system and allows for easy angle adjustments. It came in especially handy during the cart shoot, letting me easily adjust and frame things just the way I want it. It also features a 1/4 screw mount at the bottom, so you can combine it with other gear such as the clamp I used for the cart scene. Now keep in mind that the quick release mounts are different between the Go 3S and the Go Ultra, so accessories are not interchangeable. I recommend checking out the full range of accessories on Insta360's site, as they can help you capture more creative shots. What I love is that because the cameras are so small, the accessories are compact too, making them easy to carry without adding bulk. You can detach the camera from the action pod and control it wirelessly from up to 10 meters away, just like the Go 3S. This gives you real-time preview, lets you adjust settings, and start and stop recording remotely, especially for framing your shots without using your phone. Both cameras are ultra compact, making them perfect for low-profile public vlogging. With just one tap, you can start recording. Their discreet size helps capture natural moments and reactions without drawing attention. So the sun should be out soon. It's quite cloudy, but I love when the clouds are out. Oh, ja genau. Wait, I found it. I thought I lost it. Oh, thank God, Sven. So this is how it looks like, guys, if I would vlog with the action pod. I think it works really well. It's super compact and discreet. And I'm also using the internal mic. I have it set to voice enhancement. It's really easy to just hold it and vlog for longer periods. Let's now see the difference when I attach it to the mini tripod. And now I can extend it all the way. And this is how it looks like. And what's really cool is that I can pair the Go Ultra with this remote. This way I can trigger recording from a distance.
Pretty wide.
Yeah, and just hold it this way.
Sick.
I think it's pretty awesome.
It's super handy, and you can just put it in your pocket. I don't want to bring this big ass bag anymore.
Trust me, less is more.
Vlogging with this thing. I'm already tired, dude.
Yeah. And I learned that through my 5 years as a content creator.
You learned it the hard way.
Yep. So you don't have to. Well, I mean, the colors look great on this camera.
Straight out of the cab?
Yeah, straight out of the camera using the normal picture profile. It's also because it's cloudy, so it does give a moody vibe. So if I film like this or like this, It adjusts really well. I also love the flip screen, which gives you a live view while vlogging. You can also use the included wrist strap when vlogging handheld. Not only does it help keep the camera secure and prevent drops, but it also adds a layer of protection against theft when filming in public spaces. For extra comfort, I recommend pairing it with the mini 2-in-1 tripod. It includes a built-in remote and self-opening legs, making it easy to place on any flat surface for hands-free recording. This is where the Go Ultra stands out. It features a large 1/1.28-inch sensor compared to the Go 3S 1/2.3-inch sensor, a 221% increase. This results in better dynamic range, image clarity, and low light performance. It also runs on a new 5nm AI chip, while the Go 3S uses a 14nm chip. That's up to 50 times more AI computing power for improved stabilization and smarter image processing. All right, folks, let's now test the image quality between the two cameras. I'm shooting on the Go Ultra, which is this camera over here, and the Go 3S, which is this camera over here. Now I'm recording on both in 4K 25 frames per second. I've set the settings to auto, and I'm also using the internal mic on both cameras set to wind reduction because it is a little bit windy out here. And also, I have tilt fix enabled as well as the standard stabilization on. So when I walk around, you can also judge the stabilization. And you'll also notice that the field of view on the Go Ultra is wider. I can fit more in the frame, which is especially great if you vlog with the Go Ultra. And yeah, this is how the image quality looks like, and also how the audio sounds between the two. Yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you can hear as well as see any difference between the two cameras. It's a nice view up here. It's cloudy and a bit rainy too, but other than that, I'm really enjoying this hike. The Go Ultra records 4K at 60 frames per second compared to 30 frames per second on the Go 3S. Plus, there's a pure video mode that optimizes for low light footage. So I'm now doing a low light test. To the left, we have the Go Ultra, and to the right, the Go 3S. Now on both, I'm recording 4K 25 frames per second. And on the Go Ultra, I'm using a pure video mode. Currently, it's blue hour, so I'm just gonna walk along this path so that you guys can see the difference. Now I can already see on the screen that I barely have any details on the Go 3S. So yeah, I think the Go Ultra is doing a pretty good job in filming in low light conditions. The flip touchscreen is slightly larger at 2.5 inches versus 2.2 on the Go 3S. And the Go Ultra introduces a clarity zoom feature. Just double tap it to digitally zoom in, which is useful if you can't physically get closer to your subjects. This feature is not available on the Go 3S. Both cameras support ND filters, which gives you more creative control over your image. ND filters help you achieve a more natural looking motion blur, bringing you closer to that cinematic feel. You can also manually dial in settings like ISO and shutter speed to fine-tune your shots based on lighting conditions and desired look. The car scene was all shot using the ND32 filter, which added a nice touch of motion blur and helped make everything feel smoother. A nice upgrade on the Go Ultra is the addition of a removable micro SD card slot, giving creators more flexibility for longer shoots and quicker file management. The Go 3S, on the other hand, keeps things simple with its built-in storage options in 64GB or 128GB, great if you prefer an all-in-one setup. The Go Ultra lasts up to 70 minutes on its own or up to 180 minutes with the Action Pod, giving creators more time to capture without interruptions. With the Go 3S standalone camera, it lasts 38 minutes, with the Action Pod 140 minutes. Charging is quicker too, from 0 to 80% in just 12 minutes or 19 minutes with the pod. By comparison, the Go 3S takes about 23 minutes to charge standalone and 47 minutes with the Action Pod, which is still solid but not quite as fast. The Go Ultra features a slightly wider 157-degree field of view, which helps capture more of the action in frame, especially for POV shots or dynamic scenes. It's a subtle improvement that makes framing feel a bit more open and immersive. If you're wondering how the Go Ultra compares to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, the Go Ultra really shines for vlogging. I mean, the Pocket 3 is compact, but the Go Ultra is even smaller and more discreet. If you like filming in public without drawing too much attention, the Go Ultra is the better your choice. Another advantage the Go Ultra has is the creative flexibility. Insta360 offers a wide range of accessories that make it easy to capture your day in a unique, fun way. And also, thanks to its magnetic design, you can have more mounting freedom compared to the Osmo Pocket 3. Now, when you take it out of the Action Pod, you can see that it's also way smaller, which makes it easier to place it almost anywhere. And this opens up a lot of new shot possibilities. On top of that, the Go Ultra is 126 grams lighter than the Pocket 3, which makes a difference for longer vlogging sessions. The Pocket 3 is mainly designed for handheld use, while the Go Ultra works both handheld and hands-free with its mounts. Now, the Pocket 3 isn't so ideal for action-type shots since it has a gimbal and is therefore delicate, and when mounting it, it usually leads to a bulkier setup. The Go Ultra, on the other hand, is waterproof and shock-resistant, making it better fit for sports and water activities. While the Go Ultra and Go 3S share many of the same core features, they're designed with slightly different users in mind, each offering its own strength. The Go 3S is lighter, more compact, and even more discreet. Its small size makes it perfect for creative mounting options in tight spaces or when you want the most minimal camera setup possible. The Go Ultra, on the other hand, steps things up, offering a more complete package for creators who want the best quality in the smallest form factor. What makes the Go Ultra and Go 3S stand out is how compact and discreet they are compared to bulkier cameras, smartphones, or even compact devices like the Pocket 3. Vlogging with a smartphone often requires additional accessories, which can quickly add bulk and make the setup less pocket-friendly. In contrast, the Go Ultra stays compact and low profile. You can comfortably hold it in your hands for quick vlogs if needed, and even when using accessories, it's still fast to set up and still fits easily in your pocket. While the Pocket 3 is also discreet, it's not really designed for action-style shots, and its form factor is still larger than the Go Ultra. The Go Ultra offers more mounting options and feels even more invisible in public, making it a stronger pick for creators who want flexibility, speed, and a more low-profile setup. Now, let me know, what do you think about the Go Ultra? Is it something you'd use for travel or daily vlogging? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, if you're curious about other compact cameras like the Go 3S, I've made a video that dives deeper into its features. Feel free to check it out right here. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video.